Okay. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Pace and the Play podcast with me, John.
And Gio.
And my boy Gio, obviously, yeah. I messed up the intro. It's okay, it's fine.
Okay.
You guys got some behind the scenes actions today. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about, I'm going to be talking about the fallout, I would say, after the Bournemouth draw from Man United, because while I predicted a draw/loss, but I predicted a draw, and I actually predicted a 1-1 draw, and it actually happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, fair enough. See, I know my stuff, guys. Subscribe, because, I'm the most knowledgeable Man United fan out there. Subscribe for me. Anyway, I saw a lot of, pundits, like actual, or not actual, but like, you know what I mean? Like the people that are on like TV and journalists and everything.
The commentators.
Yeah, they were all like, Ruben Amorim should get more out of these players. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? We're apparently Ruben Amorim needs to get more out of a Ten Hag squad, because realistically the only player that's his is Dorgu.
Yeah.
And he's a 20-year-old that was in Serie A fighting relegation.
Okay.
That he got in January, right?
Yeah.
These are all basically Ten Hag players. And in my opinion, it's like, what are you talking about? Get more of these players. He literally came in January, so he didn't even have a preseason to actually get these players ready. He's in a situation where he has to prioritize the league or the Europa League, and in my opinion, he's doing the right thing. The right thing about prioritizing the Europa League, because winning the Europa League will, one, get us into the Champions League and actually have European competition, which in my eyes is the most important thing next season.
Yeah.
And two, more money for the transfer window that's coming up, because for everything that we're hearing, it's all dependent on the Champions League for United transfer wise.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't understand these real journalists, right? Because you know that if like they see this, these are just some guys in the basement talking about it. It's like, dog, I probably watch more football than you will in like a week. All right, you get out of here. Anyway, to me, it's like the 1-1 draw as a United fan. Yeah, it sucks because I want to win every game. That every fan should want to win every game.
Of course, every fan's gonna want to win every game.
But I understand why we drew, or why even we might have lost, right? Like, because it's like it's just a shit situation that we're in. Like, we have to prioritize one or the other. It's not like we have the squad, or at least the capabilities of prioritizing both. So for me, honestly, let me know that in the comments below if there's any Man United fans watching, right? Are you guys actually upset with Ruben Amorim currently? Like are you guys leaning towards a Ruben Amorim already out? Because in my opinion, that's madness, right? That's
already.
Like, for me, that's like, what are we doing?
No, absolutely. I mean,
I don't know.
you just gotta start looking towards next season.
Yeah.
I think just start looking towards the transfer market, and kind of start thinking and start figuring out just going on from there. Letting him bring in some actual players that he wants.
Which is one of the big things is like, right? He wants Gyökeres from Sporting. That's his striker, but Gyökeres wants to play in the Champions League. So we need to prioritize the Europa League, because we won't have Champions League unless we win the Europa League.
Exactly.
So it makes no sense to me why everybody's getting mad at the position in the league. It is what it is. It's a written off.
It is written off. There's nothing, as long as you're not relegated, pretty much.
Yeah, we're mathematically safe.
So yeah,
it's crazy that I gotta say that. That's crazy.
So being mathematically safe from relegation, then it's just whatever. Focus on being able to try and win a trophy.
The Europa League, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. And as for the Bournemouth draw, right? I guess the performance was okay. Like, I didn't expect more from the lineup that we fielded, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is kind of what I expected. It's not, I can't get mad at this. Like, literally, I can't.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, with the way that the squad has been performing, you can't really expect too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Honestly, I think these players were checked out before the season even started under Ten Hag.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
I feel like a lot of them.
Yeah, knowing it's probably going to end up being his last season, it's kind of like,
Well, it wasn't supposed to be his last season. They sacked him. It's one of those situations where, like, as a Man United fan, when players down tools, it's because they want to sack the manager.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you had players like Rashford, like Sancho, like...
okay.
Like, at the beginning, right, that were just... You know how, like, when you're in, like, any field, like, whatever you're doing, right? And then there's always that one bad apple, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could be having, like, a great day or whatever, like, at work or at like, a Sunday league or something.
Or anything, yeah.
Yeah, but there's that one guy that's always, like, mad or, like, down or, like, whatever. And it's, like, he kind of brings the whole thing down.
Yeah.
I think it's, like, toxicity like that kind of especially in
the
professional
dressing room?
sport. Yeah, it really ruins like the momentum. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like for me at the beginning of the season, even though we won some games, it was always the Rashford didn't score again, right? And it's
Yeah.
always like, well, no matter what we do, they're just gonna talk about Rashford. So it's like,
Okay, I can see that.
yeah, I don't know. It was a shit show in my opinion. This
No,
Premier League
definitely.
season,
Has been worse than
I don't know.
ever anticipated.
I'm ready for the Premier League season to end. Honestly,
Yeah, nearly. How many weeks are left?
boy, I think we got 4 games left. 5, 4,
Okay.
4 or 5 games left. I think pretty much.
Liverpool already being crowned champions.
That's another thing. As a United fan, that's killing me. The fact that they can now sing 20 league titles too,
Yeah.
it's killing me.
Oh, I bet.
Because right now United used to be the only team that could sing that.
Okay.
So it's killing me. I hate it. But it's because of the owners, honestly. I could go on like a 2-hour long rant about the owners.
About the owners.
But I don't know. What about Chelsea? I mean, that was my little spiel.
I predicted a draw for last week's game, and we ended up winning.
That's good for you.
So, or I believe I predicted a win. I think no matter what, I predicted to win by 1. is
Yeah.
what it was, and we won by 1. It was 0-1. So
I think you predicted a 2-1 win.
yeah, 2.
I remember editing.
3-2 or whatever the case was. But I felt like we were gonna let in a goal.
Yeah.
But luckily we didn't. The defense was played pretty well. I woke up. I forgot the time that it was gonna start.
Oh, okay.
So I woke up and the game had finished. So I was like,
Oh, you thought it was a later kickoff, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man. So then I just had to go through the highlights, and from what I saw, it was okay. But obviously it's the highlights, so
Yeah, you can't really tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to really tell the best from them. But knowing that we won that game is helpful for our top,
Yeah. As a Chelsea
top
fan, are
six
you
finish, or top 5.
are you ready for the season to be over? Or are you like,
I am. Well, we already know who's champion, so it's kind of like, well, we've been knowing who was more than likely going to be champion. So, I think for now it's just kind of like pushing towards
qualifying for the
qualifying for the Champions League and winning the Conference League.
Because I don't think, I think the only way Chelsea, if you finish 5th, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only way you finish 5th and get Champions League is if United or Tottenham win the Europa League. Because then the English coefficient would be high enough to get 5 places instead of 4 in next year's Champions League. Because right now it's looking like it's either going to be an Italian team or a Spanish team to win the Champions League.
Okay.
Or a French team. I forgot about PSG.
Yeah. Either way, just trying to aim for that. If not, I mean, Europa League's fine too.
Yeah, you get that anyway by winning the Conference League, which
yeah,
I would expect
so-
Chelsea to.
To win anyways.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so no matter what, just getting into a higher European conference.
Yeah.
Next season is probably the goal. I mean, if it's Europa, it's whatever. Hopefully, it's the Champions League. But I mean, even then, like being in Europe, the Europe.
You want to
is
be in
still
Europe,
better.
as a top 6
It's still
club.
better than being in the Conference League. So I'd still rather be in that than.
Or you'll be Tottenham next year and not have anything because I'm going to predict that Tottenham will win the Europa League because I
think
think
so?
United will win. Praying, I swear to God, if it's Tottenham and United in the final and we're the reason Tottenham wins the trophy, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. I will, on my match reaction, I will lose it. Like, I will crash out.
That'll be, and hopefully you guys can step it up and keep them from winning their trophy. But just to have a trophy.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about predictions for this weekend because this weekend United play Brentford. We're doing pretty okay for Brentford.
Yeah, Chelsea play Liverpool.
That.
So I'm predicting a loss.
You think you're gonna lose?
Oh yeah.
I think Liverpool are gonna be so like on top of it because they just won the league that it's like they're gonna be riding high on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be at least 2-0.
You think it's gonna be 2-0?
Yeah, 2-1. 2-0.
2-1.
Yeah, I'm hoping to score a goal. But I think it'll.
Trent's leaving.
Yeah, Trent's leaving, so maybe he won't care as much. But I mean, you're
He
still
won the
winning.
league.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you were Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? I always mess up his name. Like I can't say it like fat. Trent Alexander.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Anyway, if you're him, like what are you feeling right now? Because you just won the Premier League with your boyhood club, but you've already agreed to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Where like more realistically than not, you're not gonna be like at Liverpool, right? He's the guy that's loved. That's like he's Trent,
Yeah.
But at Real Madrid, you're just
Another.
a right back
Yeah.
to them.
I think it's bittersweet.
Is he regretting it? You think he's regretting it?
Maybe a little bit. I'd probably say maybe a little bit just because they did win the league.
Uh huh.
So maybe because of that, it might be adding some like salt on the wound of like knowing that he's gonna be leaving and
Yeah.
all the fans cheering his name won't be happening
Well, not yeah.
at Real Madrid, so at the Bernabeu. So I don't know. It's I think it's bittersweet for him. Absolutely.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
I think. Now this is just my opinion, right? If I was in his position, like if I was Trent, and Liverpool was my boyhood club, and I just won the Premier League with them, right? Mm-hmm. Because realistically, he's made enough money. Like yeah, you'll make more money at Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like he's dying of like not having enough money.
I guess so, yeah.
So it's like I would just stay in my boyhood
stay?
club. Yeah, I would choose to be loyal to my boyhood club. There's very limited teams that like. I guess Real Madrid is one of the teams where it's like okay, they come knocking, then it's like okay, well it's Real Madrid.
It's Real Madrid.
It's
Well, that's the same thing with
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I would agree. But then it's like, well,
I don't
next
know.
time you're going to be able to play for
Real Madrid,
Real Madrid,
or yeah,
they'll get another right back, and then
and then you're done basically.
you're done. You're stuck at, which is fine. There's
I mean, being stuck at Liverpool right now is not that bad of a gig, I guess.
Yeah. So,
Lucky bastards.
but I could see that. But no, you could go to Real Madrid, and potentially be another legend there. Be a legend at two clubs.
I don't think. See, my thing is, I don't think you go to Real Madrid. Like, if you're gonna be a legend at Real Madrid, right? You gotta be like. You gotta basically like Ronaldo level, like in any position.
Yeah.
Because like think about all the right, like Marcelo. They're not
Yeah.
gonna pick Trent over Marcelo.
Yeah. that is
They're
true.
not like Jude Bellingham. Maybe if he stays there for another 10 years and wins like 5 Champions Leagues, but then like Jude Bellingham will still always be like, is he a legend? Because we had Modric and we had Cruz and we had all these players
I
that
guess
won.
so. Yeah.
So it's like,
but then it's the same thing with comparing it to them. It's like if Jude Bellingham does start winning those Champions Leagues, I mean, at that point it's just like a length of how long they play.
Yeah.
Because Modric is like nearing 40 and he's still,
yeah. I
So
think
you can't really expect Jude to be like, okay, well I'm gonna play until 40 and win.
I think some players just don't want to either.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, like these days with like medical advancements and training advancements and all that stuff, it's possible for like even a normal player to play well into their 30s. I just think some of them kind of just like, okay, well I've made enough money, I had my fun, it's time to retire.
so.
Like I think there's very few players these days that are like, I want to play to win. Like I don't give a shit about how much money I make, right? I have enough money, that's fine. I just want to play to win. Like there's very few players like that these days, in my opinion. Like maybe Lamine Yamal, but he's so young, so that, like we don't really know.
I guess so. That's
You know what I
true.
mean? But it's like there's nobody in my eyes that's like that hungry as like a Ronaldo or a Messi in their day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Like I think genuinely, like right now, if Ronaldo runs out his contract in Saudi Arabia and Real Madrid pay him like pennies, he'll still probably come play for Real Madrid again to try to win more trophies.
Yeah, he probably would. But then it's like, I was gonna say maybe Thomas Mueller, but he's retired. I think.
He's retiring, right? Yeah.
So,
Or is he retiring? I thought he was just leaving Bayern. I didn't know he was retiring.
I don't know.
I think he's just leaving Bayern because
Is
I
he?
don't think Bayern renewed him. Which one of those players? Like I'll be honest with you, like see that's an interesting
Well, then
thing.
it's like that. It was the same concept. Like he still plays to win. He's not
Yeah,
playing.
he still plays to win, but it's like what? Because see, my thing is right. The game is so physical these days. Like, yeah, you need to be like great, like movement wise and everything, but it's also like so physical these days. Like more so, like don't get me wrong. Like in the heyday of Thomas Mueller, right? like you could get away with being like a little bit slower because his IQ is just so high. But
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, well, you go to the Premier League, you're gonna have a high IQ.
He
but
won't go to the Prem.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he could, right? Like there would be teams that would take him in the Prem, right? But it's
I
like
guess.
saying like Christian Eriksen, right? He still has the technical ability and the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
passing ability and the IQ to play, but the legs are gone.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Casemiro. He still has the IQ and the ability to play, but the legs are gone. You know, it's
Yeah.
like at that point it's like, well, yeah, you could see him going to like a Saudi Arabia or like a maybe like a lesser team. You know what I mean? Like a lower
Probably
down
still
team.
go to like a top 5 league team, but I don't see him going to like the Prem. I think if anything, he might go to like
PSG.
PSG or like Spain or something.
Spain, maybe like a Real Betis or something, or maybe he just retires. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also set for life. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he's set for life too, so that wouldn't.
If I was a
be
pro
that much
dude-
of a
if I was a pro, I'd play until like I literally couldn't move anymore. Like if I was like at a top club, I literally like say they don't sign me anymore. I'm like 42, and like MLS comes knocking or something. We're like, yeah, I still get to play soccer, so football.
I get, yeah, that's true.
In my opinion, but that's just because like
Yeah,
my motivation was never the money. It was always to be able to play.
to play, that is fair.
But it is what it is. So let's talk a little bit about. So you said you're gonna lose to Liverpool, right?
Yeah,
Chelsea.
I'm predicting a loss, a Chelsea loss to Liverpool.
I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but De Ligt is not fully fit in my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna play today, which means I don't know if he's gonna play this Sunday, and I wouldn't risk him because I'd rather have a fully fit De Ligt that's a little bit rusty play against Bilbao than
Okay.
a De Ligt that maybe has match fitness but he got injured again playing against Brentford. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I am probably gonna predict that we'll play a weekend side against Brentford. And when I say weekend, I mean like we'll still probably put Lindelof there or something. I don't even know because I don't think we have the players to play a weekend side.
Oh.
Because like Delo's injured, Luke Shaw is iffy.
uh-huh.
I don't know. I think it'll be another draw.
Okay.
Despite how good Brentford have been, I think again it's gonna be one of those situations where it's like we play a weekend side, not our full string side, and it'll
Yeah.
be a draw, in my opinion. I think honestly, I'm gonna predict a 0-0 draw in the
Okay.
Premier League. Well, because I think they're gonna focus on next week's second leg, especially depending on the result of today's game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna predict a draw.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair prediction. I'd probably give it.
Because I can't predict the loss of Brentford, in my opinion. Like, there's definitely ways that you could score against Brentford. Like, Brentford, they're doing good this season, but they're not the team that's, like, so solid at the
Okay.
back that, like, they won't ship a goal or two.
Yeah.
So there's always the possibility of scoring. And then it's just, can we keep them out?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah. I want to predict a draw. But that's enough football talk. Even though I could talk about hours for it. Let's talk a little bit about F1. Being in Miami.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't actually like the Miami Grand Prix. Grand Prix?
Grand Prix.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Miami?
It's okay.
The races that have been there so far.
It's funny seeing the fake.
The fake water,
Yeah,
yeah.
the fake water with the fake boats. I always kind of laugh at it whenever I see it.
They're not actually fake boats.
Well, I know they're real boats, but like the fake water and like
The fact that they put a real boat on fake water is
Yeah.
like, what?
the concept is kind of like, what is the point?
What is this grandiose showcase?
literally. Just trying to make it look better than it is, but that's where Lando Norris got his win.
First, yeah.
His first win last season, I believe. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting. But he got that win based off of a safety car.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say.
it'll be interesting to see if there's any safety cars this season. Or
But
this
McLaren
race.
strong this season.
McLaren is strong, but I know Piastri does struggle at these type of races.
Oh.
Or at least this Grand Prix, I think he's finished 19th and like 13th or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he's both times he's been out of the points.
Yeah, so we know but he has won 3 of like the 4 races so far, or the last
I think he's won 2 out of the 5. Yeah.
2 out of the 5, or whatever the case is.
2 out of 5, yeah.
I feel like
This is the season?
no, I don't feel like he'll end up not winning it, I feel like he'll get in points.
He'll get in points.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll get in points because the last two, I think the last race he got closer to points. I think this season he'll end up finishing within points.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll finish top 3, but I think within like maybe 10, 9.
10th or 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, if I was a McLaren fan, I'd be pretty upset with that this season.
Well, yeah. I mean, based off of how both racers are performing, but it's like they're both human and they both have preferred and unpreferred tracks, you know? Like,
I think that's the interesting thing about Miami is like, can you be fast in this slow and twisty sections to be close enough to the car in front on the long straight to overtake into the last corner?
yeah.
Right. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Verstappen is going to have a strong race again.
I think so. I believe so as well.
There's just something about him in that car. Like he complains about the car, but he still puts it on like podium or first, and it's like
gets the best out of that tractor. So
I have seen somebody call it a tractor online.
So I haven't seen people call it tractors online. So he's been doing pretty good with it, but I think he'll get again in the top 3. Hoping he'll win. That'll be a bold prediction though.
I don't think I don't think that's a bold prediction. I think that's a pretty base prediction. On the basis of last race and the race before.
He would have won the last race if he didn't get that
circumstantial penalty.
Yeah, that penalty. So I'm hoping he pulls out a win, and then I'm hoping that Yuki
continues to build.
Continues to build. I think he'll finish. I think last season he finished 8th. So this season
in the Racing Bulls though.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that he can maybe. I think that now he's starting to become a little bit more used to the
team.
To the team and the car. So I'm hoping he finishes 8th again.
8th?
Yeah. I'm hoping he stays in the same place.
Okay. I see. My thing with Miami is right. There is the fast and windy bit.
Yeah.
That's like decently hard to follow in. Then you have the long straight, so there is overtaking, especially for cars that are good in the straight line.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice blend of a track, right? In my opinion, I'll have to see FP1, obviously, right? To make like I mean, I want to watch all the FP free practices, but I don't know. I don't know if any team is bringing upgrades this week.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think that I heard that one of the midfield teams was going to bring an upgrade, but I'm not sure which one.
Okay.
Here's my thing, right? Charles Leclerc, in my opinion, had the pace to win in Saudi Arabia had he started better, like higher up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the Ferrari does have the pace. I've seen rumors that apparently Charles is driving a different car than Hamilton, but they've both come out and squashed that like rumor or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like in my opinion, I think that would be crazy.
Yeah,
to do
that would be.
I don't know.
That'd be ridiculous.
I think Hamilton is still. I think we're like 3 or 4 races away from Hamilton challenging for a podium or a win in a fully fledged race.
I agree. I think he has a little bit of some races to adjust still with that Ferrari.
So I want to predict that Leclerc will be the highest Ferrari again. And Leclerc's done good at Miami before. Honestly, I think this could be. Now, I said this last week, and I got proven wrong.
Okay.
Or not last week, but 2 weeks ago. But I'm gonna say it again. I think this could be the race that Ferrari actually win the actual race again.
Okay.
And I think it'll be Leclerc winning. I don't know. Something in my gut. It might just be pure delusion. But sometimes you gotta be delusional.
Sometimes you do.
And then as for the McLarens, I think both McLarens are strong. I think Piastri's issues are more just circumstantial. Like the past 2 races that he's had in Miami, like the safety cars have caught him out. The strategy has caught him out. Collision, I think, has caught him out before too.
Yeah.
So I don't think like we can really judge him as like actually struggling at this track. So assuming he has a clean race, I think he'll be around the podium. I honestly think Piastri will beat Norris again. I genuinely do think that. So I think it'll be Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Norris. And I say that because and everybody will ask like where's the Mercedes? Where's George Russell? Well, the thing is at Jeddah, Russell struggled with the tires towards the end, even though he had fresher tires. And then Miami definitely not as narrow, right? Like in terms of the walls being that close and everything as Jeddah.
Yeah.
But it's still one of those circuits where like there's sections where like he doesn't seem as comfortable in like the fast windy bits that are like so closed in.
Okay.
So I just don't see. I see him like sixth or something. Like I see Mercedes not having like a great race, but not having a like a horrible weekend. You know what I mean? Like an outside of the points finish, right? So I think it'll be Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Norris as like the finishing for this race. And I'm gonna obviously it might change depending on when this video goes out. You guys might have already seen free practice or not.
Yeah.
So and my prediction on my own page might be different after I've seen free practice. I think this is a sprint weekend, no?
This is a sprint weekend.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think the sprint will tell us a lot about what will happen in the race.
Okay.
Because right, I can't say that because Hamilton won in China sprint and did okay in the actual race, but I think Miami sprint race will tell us a lot about which car actually has the pace in Miami.
Okay.
And obviously the race will come down to strategy, which car can hold on to its tires the best or what team does something different, you know what I mean? So it really just depends. I don't know. I'm going to stick with that prediction. I don't think there's anything crazy happening this weekend, right? Like, I don't think any driver is at risk for anything, like maybe the rookies might, I don't think crash, but like...
But I did hear it's supposed to rain.
I did hear that. Now, that will change my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if it rains, I highly doubt Red Bull will be in the podium. Because I think the car is snappy enough already and dry.
And then dry.
So in like a full wet race, I think the car will just be...
I think he'll still manage to pull it off. I think there's still something that...
Don't get me wrong, Verstappen in the rain is deadly. Verstappen in the rain is like... super like mega fast.
Yeah.
It's just the car scares me.
It's just the car. Yeah, that gives me a little bit of worry. I agree.
I don't know if it does rain, because we've seen like the thing about Miami, right? Is it's in such a humid time of the year in Florida, like right where it's changing from like cold, because it doesn't really get cold in Florida, but like cold-ish to like warm to hot. That it's like the humidity will obviously affect like performance, but also like it's that they're predicting rain, but like. It could rain. The thing is for me is like, is it going to be rain like a fully wet race?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or is it going to be like rain for like 10 minutes and then they go back onto dries? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like when the rain comes and if the rain is a fully wet race.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously changes things, right? Like the prediction could be completely wrong. Mm-hmm. Like we could predict something and it could just...
Yeah, I think it's just if it rains. Once the rain comes, I think that's when our predictions might be a bit more thrown off.
I don't know, if I knew that it like there's tracks obviously where like they say it'll rain and like you know that it'll most likely be correct. Like Canada for some reason, like whenever there's races at Canada, more often than not it's a rainy race or there's some elements of a rain race.
Okay.
But like Miami, it'll be interesting because I don't think we've had a wet Miami race, have we?
I don't think so.
So unless we're gonna get roasted in the comments, unless I'm being sick, but I can't remember a fully wet Miami race, the whole thing through.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the track actually functions, though, like the actual track.
Okay.
Because you know, there's tracks where like it'll rain, like let's say Red Bull Ring, but it doesn't really affect like the flow of the race.
Yeah.
Whereas like it might affect it because don't get me wrong, like obviously. The fast windy bits are mega fast in the dry, but like how will the cars react to, how will not even the cars, but also the drivers react to that in the wet? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think it'll be a fun race though.
It will be.
I think this season has given us a lot of good fun races to watch.
To be entertained.
Yeah. Like even when like, what's it called? Like even when like a driver is like clearly in front, something happens that brings it back into like a maybe contentious fight. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm gonna predict. Honestly, I don't think that this will be the best race of the year so far, but I think it'll be one of the better ones this year.
Okay.
Like I thought, Jeddah was okay, in my opinion. You know, it was a pretty standard race though.
Yeah, it was.
Like the Ferraris were good on the tires. Mercedes struggled. Red Bull was Red Bull, and McLaren ran away with it. Yeah. So like, it fit the script. Whereas this race, I think we might get some
curveballs.
The script writers might have scripted it. No, I don't know. What about Do you have any predictions for any of the lower down teams, or any of the midfield teams? I don't know. I feel like for some reason something in my gut is telling me to watch Lance Stroll.
Watch Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll on the podium.
Really?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna predict Lance Stroll on the podium, but I think Lance Stroll, for some reason, something in my gut is telling me that he's gonna have a good race, like well into the points, like 4th or 5th.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna predict it, but like something in my gut is telling me Lance Stroll 4th or 5th. I don't know why. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess Behrman to finish 5th.
5th?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. What about, okay, here's a little discussion. We'll end on this discussion because I really don't think there's much else to talk about this week, right? Who do you think has been the best rookie so far? This many races into the season. Hadjar's been solid.
Hadjar's been pretty good.
Behrman's got some outstanding results in the Haas.
Yeah, he has.
I've seen rumors that Alpine should, not from Alpine thinking about getting rid of him, but should get rid of him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. Antonelli in the Mercedes, right, doing what he was brought in to do.
Yeah.
Who, I feel like I'm missing one. I am missing one. Lawson? Okay, well, he's not going to be the best rookie so far. Out of the rookies in contention, who do you think has been the best rookie so far? Which rookies had the best season, I mean?
I'd have to agree with you with Behrman.
You think it's going to be Behrman?
Yeah, I think Behrman's been doing pretty good. He has no reason, no business to be pushing that Haas.
That far up in certain races?
That, and then I'd probably say Hadjar maybe, but that's just maybe because a little bit of bias because he's in a V-cab or a V-carb. And then I'd say Kimi. Yeah.
So I would say that from a rookie's perspective, right, I'd put Hadjar first.
Okay.
Because he's driven consistently enough and gotten decent finishes to the point where, like, we were having that conversation where if Yuki does get sacked, is it Hadjar's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After only a couple races in the season so far.
That's fair.
So I think I'd put Hadjar, and then I put Behrman. But the thing about Behrman is like he's pushing that Haas really far up, but he also has like moments where it's like it's up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the highs are really high for the car that he's in. And then Antonelli, he's doing what he has to do. He's doing what he was brought in to do at Mercedes. You know?
That's why I'm not like too.
I mean, you didn't expect him to challenge for the world title this season, but he's not in the conversation for it, but like he's in the conversation for like finishing high up in the standings.
Yeah, he is.
So it's honestly what I'd expect from all the hype around him. So I don't know. But let us know down in the comments, guys. Who do you think's been the best rookie so far of this F1 season? And with that note, we'll leave you guys to ponder whatever you support, whatever you're gonna watch this week, and we hope you enjoy. Tune in next week for our reactions to this weekend. I'm really dragging out this intro. Like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? And we shall see you next week. Peace.